Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom. First and foremost, all praises to Abinawi Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Mashiach Yahushai, Shabbat Ephraim Gabar, out of True Hebrews on the Guy, aka Thug Camp, and to my left,
Benjamin on again.
So today's topic, we're going to go over Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16 through 19. So let's get straight to it. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16 through 19. We're going to read it straight through, and then we're going to break it down. So go ahead,
These 6 things doth Yahweh hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him.
So if you caught up in any one of these are abominations, and the Most High hated. Go ahead.
A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord amongst brethren.
So all these things the Most High hates. 7 is abomination. The worst was the sowing discord amongst brethren too. We weren't supposed to do that. So none of these things is having the fruit of the Spirit, which we covered last week. That's what we had, brother. So read it one more time. Let's break it down. So Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16.
These 6 things doth Yahweh hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him.
Go ahead.
A proud look.
A what?
A proud look.
So the Most High hates a prideful person, man. We must be humble and have a humble spirit. So give me Proverbs chapter 16. Give me Proverbs chapter 16. You know, we must not have a prideful spirit. You got, brothers so prideful to the point where they're saying that they are the only men of the Most High, and that they're the only camp of the Most High. You got men to the point where they Most High give them some knowledge, and now they're prideful, and now they boasting and saying, yeah, I've been in, I'm a chief, or I'm this, I'm a high priest, and all this other stuff. Is those titles, it makes people prideful when you get those names, because some brothers don't have no title, just, hey, that's my brother right there, refer to me as your brother. You be more humble. But that same brother, not every brother is the same case, but that same brothers you give them a title now, they went from brother to soldier. Now, they a soldier now. Now they got ranks, so now they feel like, yeah, you can't tell me nothing. Even if they're going off, they feel like you can't correct them. Because who is you? You're not a soldier. You're just a brother. You're just a sister. I'm a soldier. I'm a captain. I'm a general. I'm this. You can't tell me a damn thing. The Most High hates that spirit, man. So give me Proverbs chapter 16, verse 5.
Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to Yahweh.
So if you got that prideful heart, if nobody can't tell you nothing, you just so prideful, that's an abomination in the eyes of the Most High. Go ahead.
Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished.
Jump to 18.
Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall.
So yeah, a person might have knowledge and everything, but now that person start to lift himself up, and now he wants hella praise, and now he's thinking that all the scriptures is referring to him. All that pride goes before destruction. Go ahead.
Better it is to be of an humble spirit.
So it's better to be what?
It's better it is to be of an humble spirit. With the lowly.
So it's better to be humble. No matter how long a person been in the truth. You got a Bible? Somebody want to read along with the brother? Yeah. So just because a brother, read that part again, verse 18, Slakia.
Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
So just because a person been in the truth so long, he still should be humble. Go ahead.
Better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly.
So he'd rather be with the brothers, the new babes, being as humble like them. Like a person that's coming new into the truth, they shouldn't have a prideful spirit. You know what I mean? They should be humbled and be just eager to learn. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what we must be, no matter how long you've been in the truth. Go ahead.
Than to divide the spoil with the proud.
So give me Proverbs chapter 8, verse 13 now. It's a lot of pride. It's a prideful spirit amongst Israel. So Proverbs 8:13, read that out.
Proverbs 8 and 13. The fear of Yahweh is to hate evil.
So if you fear the Most High, you will keep His laws, statutes, and commandments, right? So you will hate evil. Go ahead.
Pride and arrogancy.
So pride and arrogancy, you wouldn't be caught up in that if you really fear the Most High, because you're gonna be like, that's what the Most High hates. So any wise person, individual, that know that the Most High hates a prideful person, they be like, nah, I don't want to be that. They'll try their best to stay away from that and be as humble as possible. Go ahead.
In the evil way, in the froward mouth do I hate.
So now give me James chapter 4. You know, that's why when we cover the fruit of the Spirit, that's the spirit that we must have. Those characteristics. These characteristics is a no-no. You know what I mean? You don't want to have none of these, because these is the ones the Most High hate. You know what I mean? So give me James chapter 4 and read verse 4 through 6.
Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God.
Go ahead.
Do ye think that the scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelt in us lusted to envy?
Go ahead.
But he giveth more grace. Wherefore he said, God resisteth the proud.
So he will resist the pride. So even in the day of trouble, when people thinking they're so prideful and thinking, oh, you know, I've been in the truth this long and I got so much knowledge and boasting and prideful, the Most High in the time of destruction, He ain't gonna save that person. He ain't gonna save a prideful person. Go ahead.
But giveth grace unto the humble.
But the Most High will give grace unto a humble. So it'll be easy to be humble and just. That's why I tell brothers all the time and sisters, I be like, just focus on the law, statute, commandments. That's what our main focus should be. But everybody want to get so deep into the scriptures and so deep into the scriptures, and then it's pretty much a lot of times people learn just to be just to boast how much knowledge they got. So they try to learn, like they don't do it out of sincerity just to know and understand. Now amongst Israel, people are doing it just so they can say, "Hey, see how deep I can go. Look at this, brother." Mm-hmm. It's just a boast thing. Like I'm better than you. Look, I could break down this, Luke real good. I could break down this parable real good. It's a boast thing instead of being humble. So that's why it's better to just be with the lowly. Just focus on the milk. Don't try to get, because that spirit is so easy. That spirit to jump on brothers. You know what I mean? It's so easy for that spirit to jump on brothers. They see it all the time. So it's better just to focus on the milk, on the true doctrine. That is the true doctrine, the law, statutes, commandments. Brothers saying, "Oh, you don't believe in our doctrine." What doctrine? If the doctrine that the disciples and Christ that was teaching was law, statutes, commandments. You see what I'm saying? So give me Sirach chapter 10 in the Apocrypha. Sirach chapter 10, verse 7 through 14.
Pride is hateful before God and man.
Read that one more time.
Pride is hateful before God and man.
Uh-huh.
And by both doth one commit iniquity, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries.
Oh, Slakia. Sirach 10 and 7. Read that one more time out.
Pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity.
So when you're the Most High hate that spirit. Go ahead.
Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, The kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Go ahead.
Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such in one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth he casteth away his bowels.
Go ahead.
The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king tomorrow shall die.
So he might be lifted up one day, and that's what's going to happen. Brothers is lifted up one day, the next day he's going to fall. You know, when Christ comes back, brothers going to be, that the day before he comes back, they all got that prideful spirit. They boasting, they speaking highly of themselves. And then that next day, the Lord's going to judge their butt. So that's why it's better to be humble, man. Go ahead.
11. For when a man is dead, he shall inherit creeping things, beasts and worms.
Talking about the body, your body. That's when you go to the. That's why it says how in verse 9, why is the earth and ashes proud? So once you die, your body's gonna turn back to ashes, dust to dust. How the hell you made of the ashes and dust? How the hell you prideful and you made of the dust? Go ahead.
The beginning of pride is when one departed from God.
Read that one more time.
The beginning of pride is when one departed from God.
So when a person being prideful, that's because they are, that spirit that they might have once had, they're slipping now. Now they're fading away from the truth and they're turning into unrighteousness. Read that one more time.
The beginning of pride is when one departed from God, and his heart is turned away from his Maker.
Now he don't really care about pleasing the Most High, because he's thinking about how other men can please. A lot of times people learn just to be just to boast, how much knowledge they got. So they try to learn, like they don't do it out of sincerity just to know and understand. Now amongst Israel, people are doing it just so they can say, hey, see how deep I can go. Look at this, brother. It's just a boast thing. Like, I'm better than you. Look, I could break down this Luke real good. I could break down this parable real good. It's a boast thing instead of being humble. So that's why it's better to just be with the lowly, just focus on the milk. Don't try to get, because that spirit is so easy, that spirit to jump on brothers. You know what I mean? It's so easy for that spirit to jump on brothers. They see it all the time. So it's better just to focus on the milk, on the true doctrine. That is the true doctrine, the law, statutes, commandments. Brothers saying, oh, you don't believe in our doctrine. What doctrine? If the doctrine that the disciples and Christ that was teaching was law, statutes, commandments. You see what I'm saying? So give me Sirach chapter 10 in the Apocrypha. Sirach chapter 10. Verse 7 through 14.
Pride is hateful before God and man.
Read that one more time.
Pride is hateful before God and man. And by both doth one commit iniquity, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries.
Oh, Slakia. Sirach 10 and 7. Read that one more time out.
Pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity.
So when you're the Most High hate that spirit. Go ahead.
Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Go ahead.
Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such in one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth he casteth away his bowels.
Go ahead.
The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king tomorrow shall die.
So he might be lifted up one day, and that's what's going to happen. Brothers is lifted up one day, the next day he's going to fall. You know, when Christ comes back, brothers going to be, that the day before he comes back, they all got that prideful spirit. They boasting, they speaking highly of themselves. And then that next day the Lord's going to judge their butt. So that's why it's better to be humble, man. Go ahead.
11. For when a man is dead, he shall inherit creeping things, beasts and worms.
Talking about the body, your body. That's when you go to the. That's why it says how in verse 9, why is the earth and ashes proud? So once you die, your body's going to turn back to ashes, ashes, dust to dust. How the hell you made of the ashes and dust? How the hell you prideful? And you made of the dust. Go ahead.
The beginning of pride is when one departed from God.
Read that one more time.
The beginning of pride is when one departed from God.
So when a person being prideful, that's because they are, that spirit that they might have once had, they're slipping now. Now they're fading away from the truth and they're turning into unrighteousness. Read that one more time.
The beginning of pride is when one departed from God, and his heart is turned away from his maker.
Now he don't really care about pleasing the Most High, because he's thinking about how other men can please him. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. It's like, okay, I got all this knowledge. I was doing, because they probably, a lot of brothers start off humble. This is just my opinion. A lot of brothers will start off humble, and then they'll get titles and get lifted up, and a lot of people look up to them and praise them. Then they get to their head, and now they make like, I don't really care too much if pleasing the Most High. They'll stray away from keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and making man laws. You know what I mean, and all this other stuff, because their heart is not in it. So it's better to be humble and have a lowly and hang with the lowly than to be pride, because pride leads before destruction. Continue, verse 14. Verse 13.
For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abominations.
So, and that's the things you see amongst that's the brothers that's being prideful. They doing all type of wicked abomination, and coming up with all these different teachings that's contrary to the Most High, contrary to the word of the Most High, because that pride is the beginning of sin, and he'll just continue in different abominations. Go ahead.
That hath it shall pour out about Salakia. And therefore Yahweh brought upon them strange calamities, and overthrew them utterly.
And that's what's going to happen to brothers and sisters that has a prideful spirit. Just because the Most High haven't judged brothers and sisters yet of that prideful spirit, doesn't mean if when judgment comes, or you're not going to get judged if you continue to have a prideful spirit. Some brothers think because they've been prideful for 5-10 years or a year or 3 months and nothing happened to them, everything's good, they could, there's nothing wrong with this, I continue to have a prideful spirit, and now boom, the Lord's going to destroy them if they don't repent. Continue on that.
14. Yahweh hath cast down the thrones of proud princes. A proud prince.
So he would cast down the throne. Many kings have failed because they was doing abominable things. So he'll cast them down. Go ahead.
And set up the meek in their stead.
And that's what's going to inherit the earth, like it tells you in Matthew. Matter of fact, get that real quick. Matthew 5. You say he's going to put the meek in their place, pretty much. So what's that? Matthew 5. I believe it's 5, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, come on. Read that, Matthew 5 and 5.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
That's who's going to inherit the earth. Yeah. That's who's going to get the kingdom of heaven. The humble, the meek, not no prideful person. Now give me Malachi chapter 4. Malachi chapter 4. Read verse 1.
Malachi 4 and 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble.
Read that one more time.
For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven.
So that day is around the corner. It's pretty soon. We don't know the day or time or hour, but we know through the signs and prophecy that we're living in the last days. So we know we're close. So the day gonna come that everything you see is gonna be on fire. Go ahead.
And all the proud, yea.
All the prideful people, all the people that's proud, all the people that think they're so great and that they're so amazing. They got all this knowledge. It's one thing to have knowledge, But you can have all the knowledge in the world and still be humble. But when you get to boast and be prideful, that's when the Most High has a problem with you. Go ahead.
And all that do wickedly.
All the proud and all that do wickedly, because it tells you once you start being prideful, you're gonna start doing what? Abominations, other wickedness. So now you went from being prideful to other characteristics of Satan, doing other wicked deeds because of that pride. Go ahead.
Shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts.
So that's what the Lord said. The Most High is going to burn them up if they don't repent. So that's why it's very important to go over these different topics so brothers and sisters can know the characteristics to have, like the fruit of the Spirit, what we covered last week, and the characteristics in the Spirit not to have, which is one of them being prideful. So go back to Proverbs chapter 6. I could just read it and then get the precepts. So Proverbs chapter 6 verse 17 says, a proud look, a lying tongue. So another thing that the Most High hates is a liar. So give me Leviticus 19 and 11. So the Most High hates a lying tongue. You know, if you have that lying spirit, you're always lying, you need to repent. Get that demon up off of you. Because all these is demons. You got to repent, fast, pray, and ask the Most High to take these spirits up off you. Because that lying tongue is also the Most High hates. So give me Leviticus 19:11.
Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
That's the law. Read that one more time.
Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
We don't supposed to be lying to one another. You know what I mean? So when our forefathers lied to other nations, the scripture talks about we're supposed to lie to each other. You know what I mean? So doing it to other nations, that's different. You know, you might call in your job and go, I'm sick, or whatever. We ain't talking about that. That's heathen. The Most High, they spit on the eyes of the Most High. We're talking about lying amongst each other, amongst the brothers and sisters. The Most High hates that. Give me Proverbs chapter 13, verse 5. You know what I mean? Because if you caught up in the fruit of the Spirit, if you have the Spirit of the Most High upon you, you will hate what the Most High hates. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what we supposed to want to be like. You know, we would want to be like our Father. Have the same, like what He like, hate what He hate. You know, that's why I don't get how these brothers be like, oh, the Most High hates Esau, but we're not supposed to hate Esau. You don't have the Spirit of your Father upon you. If Christ is the head of us, and the Most High is the head of Christ, and we the head of the woman, didn't Christ do the will of His Father? So He did what His Father will was, and we're supposed to do what Christ did. So it's boom, 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 boom. So whatever the Most High hates, we supposed to hate. Whatever the Most High loves, that's common sense. So give me Proverbs chapter 13, verse 5.
A righteous man hated lying.
Read that one more time.
A righteous man hated lying.
A righteous man, he would hate lying. You see what I'm saying? The apocryphers speak about, you know, how you'll slip up in your, you know, in your speech. You know, you might say something like, oh no, I didn't mean to say that. Yeah, that's different. But just purposely lying and stuff, the Most High hates that. Go ahead.
But a wicked man is loathsome.
A wicked man is loathsome, you know, is abominable. Go ahead.
And cometh to shame.
He gonna be put to shame. But a righteous man will hate lying. A wicked man is gonna be put to shame. You don't think when the Lord comes back, brothers might or sisters might lie to each other, might lie to us. We might not know. You know, hey brother, why was you in that Sabbath, brother? You know, we missed you and stuff. Oh, brother, and make up some lie. You see what I'm saying? Just to say, oh, be honest, be like, nah, I was partying the day before, and I slipped up. You know what I mean? They'll just make up a lie or something. The Lord's not with that. You know what I mean? So that's why we must not have that type of spirit upon us. Give me Colossians chapter 3. Colossians chapter 3. You know, some people just lie for no reason. It's just like, why you just didn't tell the truth? You know what I mean? Why you lying so much? Be honest. You know what I mean? So Colossians 3 verse 9 and 10.
Lie not one to another.
So we aren't supposed to lie one to another. Tell the truth. The truth should set you free, right? Go ahead.
Seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds.
So you put off that man. So yeah, back in the world we used to lie all the time. But that's the spirit of the world. That's not the spirit of the Father. That's not the fruit of the Spirit. When we was in the world, we was dealing with wickedness. We was caught up in darkness. We wasn't in light. Yeah, we was lying. You know what I mean? Lie to your mom. They'd be like, swear up and down that that wasn't you. You know what I mean? Your teachers called and they like, hey, your son was doing this and doing that. And you're like, Mom, it wasn't me. I promise you I wasn't. Instead of just saying, you know what I mean? I was... Oh, I ain't even gonna get into that, but man, I was a professional liar. I'm telling you. I know a lot of brothers can bear it, sisters too, like, I was a professional liar. Get out of everything. I remember just being in school in 7th grade and stealing stuff from the school. And I was so good at lying, though, I got out of it. I had the merchandise in my bag. They caught me with the stuff. They took me down. I got expelled from it, though, but they took me down to the thing, to the police department and stuff. You know what I mean? I started crying, get my tears on. You know, we know about that. Get your tears on and start like, it wasn't me. I just don't know what happened. You know, you do all that, and then, I believe you, son. Oh, okay. Right. That's the spirit of the world. Like we was able to do, we was doing those things because we didn't know the truth. You know what I mean? We was doing lies just to lie. You know, lying to females, or women lying to their husband. Where was you at? I was with the brothers. You know, I was with my mom. You know, go where you was doing some wickedness. You know what I mean? So that's why read that one more time, Colossians chapter 3, verse 9.
Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds.
So that's the old man. So yeah, we was all in darkness before we came in the truth. But now we new creatures in Christ, right? Read verse 10.
And have put on the new man.
So that new man shouldn't be doing the same thing that the old man used to do. You're supposed to better yourself and get your spirit way better than that old man. So if that old man was full of pride and lying and adulterous and fornication and all this partying and stuff, getting high and stuff, that's the old man. Now you a new man. Now read verse 10 again.
And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him.
We supposed to be like unto him, unto our Father. That's how we supposed to be in likeness. We supposed to love what he loved and hate what he hated. So when we be a part of that, okay, now we ask for forgiveness. Now we came into this truth. Now we are forgiven. Now we understand I can't do the same things I used to do. I can't do it. I have to be faithful and I have to do the will of my Father. Because judgment, this is the last go round.
Yeah.
People talk about, regeneration. Yeah, it's in the Bible, but this is it. This is the last generation. We ain't about to be hundreds and hundreds of years down the road. No, it's everything is escalating. If you understand prophecy and everything, it's around the corner. You see what I'm saying? So this is it. You got to get your spirit right with the Father right now. You know, seek the Lord where he might be found. Give me Acts 5 and 1. So we're gonna read this story and see how people lie about the simplest things. The simplest lies, especially lying to brothers in the truth, men of the Lord. That's, when you used to lie to prophets and the disciples and apostles and stuff, that was like lying to the Most High. Because that's how when the Most High set up the prophets and the teachers and the apostles and stuff, they was his mouthpiece. So you lying to them, you lying not to them, you lying to the Most High. So check this out. Acts chapter 5 verse 1 through 11. Let's see what happened. People lie about the simplest things, and let's see what these wicked Israelites was lied about.
But a certain man named Ananias with Sapphira, his wife, sold the possession.
So he sold their possessions, right? Go ahead.
And kept back part of the price, his wife also being privy to it, and brought a certain part, and laid it at the apostles' feet.
So they sold a property or whatever, and they were supposed to give a percentage of that, the tenth of the property they sold. So they didn't give what they supposed. They gave a less, right? Thinking that they can fool the men of the Lord or fool the Most High, right? Go ahead.
But Peter said, Ananias, why have Satan filled thine heart to lie to the Holy Spirit?
Because you're not lying, you're lying to the Holy Spirit. Go ahead.
And to keep back part of the price of the land.
Why are you doing that? You know in Goodwill you sold it for more. Why did you put this amount? Knowing Goodwill you sold it for a lot more. It's just very simple. Go ahead.
Whilst it remained, was it not thine own? And after it was sold, was it not in thine own power? Why hast thou conceived this thing in thine heart? Thou hast not lied unto men.
You ain't lying unto men. That's the thing, brothers and sisters, got to realize. When you're lying to one another, you're not lying to men. Yes, I got it, damn. You in your back, you might get home, lie to a person, get home, and like, yes, I got it. That brothers believe that crap. Most time when brothers or sisters be, like just me personally, when people be telling me stuff, and I know they lying, I ain't gonna say nothing. Because the Most High knows. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm be like, okay, brother. Okay, sister. I get home like, I know this nigga did not just know. And he trying to deceive me.
Right.
When you in this truth and you keep these laws, such commandments, it's hard to deceive a man of the Lord. He going to be like, man, you might be like, okay, brother. Okay, sister. That's what he's saying. Get home like, man, I can't believe they said that. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Take this out. Read that one more time.
Thou hast not lied unto men, but unto God.
You are lied unto God. You have lied to the Father when you do that. Go ahead.
And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost.
What did he do?
Fell down and gave up the ghost.
That nigga died instantly. You want to be wicked? You want to lie? Hey, you got a grace period right now. The Most High, that's up to the Most High. He can kill you now or give you a worse judgment. That's up to the Father. Go ahead.
And great fear came on all them that heard these things.
And that's what should happen. And brothers and sisters that's reading this, we reading it right now.
Yeah.
The people that's caught up in a lying spirit, great fear should be. You should feel fearful if you afraid. If you know you being a liar, you're a liar. You be like, man, the Most High killed him instantly. He didn't get a chance to repent. He didn't get a chance to do nothing. The Most High killed him. Go ahead.
And the young man arose, wound him up, and carried him out, and buried him.
They went to go bury that man. Go ahead. Let's see about his wife. Go ahead.
And it was about the space of 3 hours after, when his wife, not knowing what was done, came in.
So she didn't know what happened. 3 hours passed. Here come the wife. Let's see if is she going to lie or is she going to tell the truth. Let's see. Go ahead.
And Peter answered unto her, tell me whether ye sold the land for so much.
So he's like, what you sold the land for? Let's see if she's going to be honest. Go ahead.
And she said, yea, for so much.
So she told him the price, but Peter, being a man of the Most High, he knew. She just told the same lie that her husband just did. That's why the scripture says what? A wicked woman is given to a wicked man. Yeah. You see that? So both of them are liars. Yeah. They a lot of people in the truth, they thinking because they feel connected to that brother or that sister or that brother feel connected to that sister that is of the Most High. A lot of the times it's just be the demon inside of you know the demon inside of her and they best friends and they connect well. And you thinking like, oh, I got a good relationship with this and all this, and you thinking you so happy and not realizing the reason why y'all connected so well because y'all demons knew each other. Y'all demons was connected very well.
Right.
So that's the case. So don't think because y'all both have that type of these type of spirits that the Most High hates, that you're relating, you're connecting well with another a sister or a sister with a brother. You know what I mean? It's because you need to cleanse your spirit. So that's why, brothers that don't have a wife or sisters that don't have a husband, get your spirit right. Be patient. Get your spirit right so that that demon inside you don't attract a demon. You see what I'm saying? Because you'll know and you won't be deceived because your spirit is right. Continue on that.
Then Peter said unto her, How is it that ye have agreed together to tempt the spirit of Yahweh?
So they plot that. That's how wicked our people is. They be plotting things. Oh, we're gonna go to the apostles and we're gonna tell them we sold for this much. So they already put in their head. So he's like, why are you tempting the Lord? Read that one more time, verse 9.
Then Peter said unto her, How is it that ye have agreed together to tempt the spirit of Yahweh?
How are you going to try to tempt the Lord? Why did y'all do this? Why did y'all agree to go and try to tempt the spirit of the Most High? Go ahead.
Behold, the feet of them which have buried thy husband are at the door, and shall carry thee out.
Go ahead.
Then fell she down straightway at his feet, and yielded up the ghost. And the young men came in and found her dead, and carrying her forth, buried her by her husband.
So she died too. Continue.
And great fear came upon all the church, and upon as many as heard these things.
So that's why we read these things, so that people that have a lying spirit can fear the Most High. Because if you have a lying spirit, you don't fear the Most High, because that's not the spirit of the Most High. If you lying and you love lying, some people love to lie. They just love it. It's a hobby. Like, yeah, let me see what lie I can make up now. Let's see who can believe me now. So if you fear the Most High, you would say, you would depart from evil, and you wouldn't want to be a liar. So they didn't fear the Most High. So those people that had that spirit probably upon them, they seen what happened or heard what happened. They're like, hold on, let me repent. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take the Most High killing brothers or sisters for other brothers and sisters to say, oh man, I need to repent. You know what I mean? So give me Revelation chapter 22. Revelation chapter 22, verse 14 and 15.
Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life.
So that's who's going to be blessed. Those that keep the commandments of the Most High. Go ahead.
And may enter in through and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
Whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. So that shows right there, ain't no liars, ain't no prideful person gonna be in the kingdom, and ain't no liar gonna be in the kingdom. You can lie to men, you can lie to women, but you cannot lie to the Most High that see it all. It tells you in the Apocrypha that the Most High eyes is 10,000 brighter than the sun. So just think about that before you make that, before you be prideful, or before you make that next lie. Come up with that next lie. So go back to, or let me read, go back to Proverbs 6. Let's see what's next. So verse 17, a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. So the Most High hates people that shed innocent blood. Give me Isaiah chapter 59, verse 7. All that bloodshed that Esau, the so-called white man, did on this land, when he came into this land and slaughtered millions upon millions of children, women, and men. You see what I'm saying? That innocent blood, the Most High hates you when you kill. There's one thing when a brother was put to death in the Old Testament, or put to death because he did wickedness. So they was, if that person got stoned, that was lawful. Okay, you went to go commit adultery. Okay, let's kill him. Let's kill her. But one thing is to lie and say, hey, that brother committed adultery, or she did this or she did that. and she didn't do it, and you put that person to death, that innocent blood, that's the Most High gonna require it upon you. So that's why let's read that Isaiah 59 verse 7.
Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood.
This is what the wicked does. Go ahead.
Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are in their paths.
So read that one more time. So this is what a wicked person is in their mind. Not just dealing with Esau and the other nations. We all know Esau is the wicked of the wicked. But a lot of our people be doing the same thing. So read that one more time.
Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood.
They so quick to shed innocent blood. That's what a wicked person would do. So that's why a lot of our people, they might trying to shoot at a brother, but they might be kids and whoever in the midst of it. They don't care. They're gonna shoot at the crowd, and they killing whoever and don't care just to get to that man. The Lord hates that. Read that one more time up.
Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are in their paths.
So their thoughts is even wicked. Your thoughts should be on the law, statute, commandments, and how to please the Father. Give me Lamentations chapter 4. Lamentations chapter 4.
Lamentations chapter 4.
Because who put Christ to death? Or who was responsible? Our own people. They was the one that said, let his blood be upon us and our children. They was the one that was killing the prophets and killing the, getting the disciples and stuff put to death. You see what I'm saying? Even the first century, after the disciples died and stuff, you had a lot of the Christians and the earlier so-called Christian followers of Christ, believers, that was being put to death. You know what I mean? So let's see Lamentations chapter 4, verse 12 to 13.
The kings of the earth and all the inhabitants of the world would not have believed that the adversary and the enemy should have entered into the gates of Jerusalem.
So yeah, the other nations, they entered into the gates. Last time they entered was 70 AD when they came into into Jerusalem. Go ahead.
For the sins of her prophets and the iniquities of her priests that have shed the blood of the just in the midst of her.
Because of what our people was doing. That's why we got sacked in 70 AD.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of their doing. It was because we was doing wickedness. Our priest was going off. Our judges was going off. We was putting innocent people to death. We was dealing falsely with one another. We was committing adultery and fornication. We got the Messiah put to death. So that's why 30 to 40 years later, after Christ died, resurrected, guess what happened? We got put in slavery. And the ones that didn't, or got put to death, and the ones that didn't, ran and fled into the coast of Africa. Into Africa. But that was because we was being liars, we was shedding innocent blood. You see about the Mayans and the Aztec, how they used to sacrifice children and loved ones and people to the sun god. It was just shedding anybody for no cause. That's shedding innocent blood. So give me 2nd Ezra chapter 15. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Verse 7 through 10. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, 7 through 10.
Therefore saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
Go ahead.
Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
Go ahead.
And therefore, saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them.
The Lord's going to avenge us. All that innocent blood that was shed throughout North, South, Central America, the islands, and all the rest of the earth that were, that's our people. Because our people are catching hell in Africa, our people are catching hell in Asia, our people are catching hell in all the different places we were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So he's going to avenge them. He's going to pay them other nations back for us, for our sakes. Go ahead.
And receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
So all the innocent blood, that's why it says the dead in Christ shall rise first. You know, many brothers and sisters died in this truth or was put to death. They're going to be raising up. Go ahead.
Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof.
So he's going to destroy this land off the face of the earth. This place will be only damn creatures will be living in this place. But this place would never be inhabited. The Lord will completely destroy this place, and because he's going to pay back the other nations. He's going to pay back 2/3 of our people that have this prideful lying and killing innocent blood amongst our people. He's going to do it. So give me 1 Samuel chapter 19. Just read a story about how this wicked king Saul was trying to kill David. But that's what happens when people are jealous, envious. They have the spirit of Satan on them, not the fruit of the Spirit. They would try to kill a righteous man. So 1 Samuel chapter 19, verse 1 through 6.
And Saul spake unto Jonathan his son, and to all his servants, that they should kill David.
So they were trying to plot to kill David. Saul like that, we should kill David. Remind you, David was a man of the Lord. Go ahead.
But Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted much in David.
So that's his son. You'll think, he would follow after his dad. He would agree we should kill David. No. He liked David. He knew David was a righteous man. Go ahead.
And Jonathan told David.
So Jonathan told David, like, hey, my dad's plotting to kill you, man. Go ahead.
Saying, Saul, my father seeketh to kill thee.
But mind you, the Lord said, who is my brother? Who is my sister? Those do the will. Who's my father? Who's my mother? He's seen King David doing the will of the Father. Go ahead.
Now therefore I pray thee, take heed to thyself until the morning, and abide in a secret place, and hide thyself.
Go ahead.
And I will go out and stand beside my father in the field where thou art, and I will commune with my father of thee, and what I see, that I will tell. And Jonathan spake good of David unto Saul his father, and said unto him, let not the king sin against his servant. Against David.
Against who?
Against David.
So he like pretty much told him, like, if you killing him, you gonna shed innocent blood. Don't, just because you're a king, don't sin against your servant. Go ahead.
Because he have not sinned against thee, and because his works have been to thee word very good.
So he didn't do nothing to you. So Father, why the hell are you trying to kill him? You trying to shed innocent blood. He did nothing but good to you. Why are you trying to do evil? So that's what happens, brothers and sisters. So don't get discouraged when you're doing good to a brother and sister and they still got evil thoughts or evil ways. They still plotting against you. That's because those brothers and sisters that's jealous and envious and hatred towards that brother or sister that's doing good, it's because they have the spirit of Satan, their father. Just because a brother or sister is Israel doesn't mean that they have the spirit of the Most High for them. Like Paul said in Romans 9, not all Israel is of Israel. Some of these Israelites have the spirit of Satan, and that's who their father is. When Christ was saying you are of your father the devil, he wasn't speaking to Esau, he was speaking to wicked Jews. Because the spirit of them is the spirit of Satan, man. It's not the spirit of the Father. Go ahead.
For he did put his life in his hand, and slew the Philistine, and Yahweh wrought a great salvation for all Israel.
So he could have died out there. So he's saying, Father, David put his life on the line for Israel. And you going to try to kill this righteous man? Go ahead.
Thou sawest it, and didst rejoice. Wherefore, then wilt thou sin against innocent blood,
Are you gonna sin against innocent blood? You know that's one of the things the Lord hates. Go ahead.
To slay David without a cause.
Without a cause. It was back then. It was it was good. It was okay. It was lawful to kill somebody for a cause. If they was doing wickedness, yeah. But just to kill innocent blood, shedding innocent blood is mean you had no cause. It was you just killed that person. Like you have some brothers in the hood. They'll look. A brother will look at them. You know what I mean? And what you looking at? And it wasn't really. He wasn't even really looking at that brother that type of way. But the other guy, what you looking at? And he take out a gun and shoot him. You shedded innocent blood because you had no cause. He had no problem with you. You just killed him for no reason, just for a look. That's simple. Go ahead.
And Saul hearkened unto the voice of Jonathan, and Saul sware, as Yahweh liveth, he shall not be slain.
So he was corrected. And that's what we must do to each other. If a brother is out there doing that, we must correct that brother or that sister. Nah, don't do that. You shed an innocent blood. Don't be prideful. Don't be a liar. So give me so that's it on that. Go back to Proverbs 6, verse 17. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hand that shed innocent blood, and a heart that deviseth wicked imagination. So give me Jeremiah 17:9 first. So a heart that devises wicked imagination. So because we shouldn't be thinking about wicked, we should have a wicked thoughts or all these wicked imagination of what we should do to a brother or sister. We shouldn't have those wicked imaginations. So give me Jeremiah 17:9. So this is one of the things the Most High hates. A heart that devises wicked imagination. He's thinking about wicked stuff all day. Go ahead.
The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
So that's why we aren't supposed to lean unto our heart. Because your mind can be telling you things, but that doesn't mean it's of the Holy Spirit, it's of the Most High.
Right.
It could be Satan trying to mess with your mind. You see what I'm saying? Playing mind games. So we must not be imagining wicked, thinking of wicked imaginations. Give me Proverbs 28:26. Because you can't hide from the Most High your sins.
Right.
He even know your thoughts. So you can be thinking like, yeah, I can't stand that wicked brother. I can't wait till I'm going to find me a perfect plan. We're going to get him killed. You see what I'm saying? Or, yeah, hope that brother die. I like that his brother's wife. You know what I mean? You don't know what brothers to think.
Right. Correct.
You see what I'm saying? Our sisters say, yeah, I wish she died. She thinks she all that. I hope she died. We shouldn't be we shouldn't thinking that wicked thoughts and stuff. But that goes amongst Israel. People be thinking about the craziest things. And that's one thing. People think because of you thinking in your mind, just like you plotted in your mind to kill a brother. What did Christ say? That's what? You're a murderer. You see what I'm saying? So you already thinking, yeah, I'm gonna kill that dude. I hate that dude. You thinking like that, you already commit murder in your mind, man, in your heart. So get Proverbs chapter 28, verse 26.
He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool.
Read that one more time.
He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool. But whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered.
So if you trust in that wicked imaginations, if you really think that the Most High don't the Most High don't know what you're thinking, you a fool. Because the Most High knows all your thoughts. You will have some brothers or sisters be reading the Bible, thinking of wicked stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna be like Saul. I'm gonna try to kill that dude. I'm gonna try to be like Saul, you know. You see, it was in the scriptures. You see, Saul was trying to kill him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or yeah, you seen they were sleeping with prostitutes or sleeping with doing wicked stuff. They think of these wicked things. We aren't supposed to think like that. You're supposed to think of the laws, statutes. You're supposed to meditate about that, laws, statutes, commandments. and pleasant things, good things, things that's going to be things that edify or help build the nation, not wicked things on how to destroy the nation. You know, some brothers will have a wicked imagination to divide Israel. Yeah, I'm about to kill him with this one. I'm about to come up with this doctrine. It's gonna set Israel on fire. It's gonna divide Israel. Watch when I get him with this one. And just imagine how many different doctrines out here that have divided Israel. Mm-hmm. That Esau is not the white man. See, boom, divided Israel. Right. Brothers is fighting over Facebook and almost getting in physical altercations with brothers because of one believe Esau is the white man, one believes the Arabs. Mm-hmm. That caused major division right there. Mm-hmm. But brothers had in mind, say, yeah, I'm gonna get them with this one. But it's stupid because both of them going in captivity. So who give a damn who is who? They both going in captivity. You better just hope that you're gonna be the one being righteous and being delivered. Because you spreading all your time on who's if Esau's this or Esau's that, and you're gonna be in the same situation that Esau, destroyed. You know what I mean? So what matters who is who if your butt is gonna get destroyed with them? That don't make sense. So give me Proverbs 14 and 12. That's how I used to be caught up, you know, doing that, spending so much time trying to debate with people. I'm like, man, I ain't even gonna waste my time and or my energy. This is pointless. Keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. What about that? You know what I mean? Proverbs 14 and 12.
There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Yeah, you thinking of wicked imaginations. You thinking that I'm gonna plot against this brother, or I'm gonna plot against this sister. You thinking these different things. So you got brothers and sisters that's working with the government, that's plotting and thinking of these wicked imaginations on how they can get Israel caught up. But you don't understand that the Most High is watching you and your thoughts. He all that stuff is being recorded. So give me Micah chapter 2 verse 1. Micah chapter 2 verse 1. Micah 2 verse 1.
So Micah chapter 2 verse 1.
Woe to them that deviseth iniquity.
So woe to them that devise iniquity. That's plotting. Go ahead.
And work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. So
you have people in their bed just thinking about wicked things. They can't even sleep. They just think about all these wicked imaginations. Oh, I'm gonna go take that. I'm gonna kill that brother. But that's what people was doing back then. People was killing brothers and taking their wives. It was doing all this type of wicked stuff. It was like, that's good. And you will have that type of same spirit on today, 2016. That same type of spirit, people thinking in their bed, what can they do? Or how can they think of wicked things? You know what I mean? Of how we gonna make this brother look bad, or how we gonna make this sister look bad. But the Most High knows it all. So give me Psalms 37. Check this out. They plotting, they thinking of wicked imaginations. Psalms 37.
Psalms 37.
And 12 through 13.
The wicked plotted against the just.
So yeah, the wicked is always plotting against the just. They thinking of wicked things. Okay, what can I think of now? What can I think of today? So they thinking of against the righteous, right? Go ahead.
And gnash it upon him with his teeth. Yahweh shall laugh at him.
What? The Father's going to laugh at them. Go ahead.
For he seeth that his day is coming.
They see that your day is coming. That day is at hand when he's going to judge your behind for doing things like that. Give me Matthew chapter 12. Because the Lord said the wicked plotteth against the just. That's just like what we about to read, how our wicked elders back then during the time of Christ, the wicked scribes and Pharisees was plotting against Christ. So Matthew chapter 12. Matthew chapter 12, start at verse 9. So they was plotting against Christ. They wicked brothers and sisters was always plotting against the righteous. Always. Read that, because they hate the spirit of the Most High. They don't really hate you, they hate the spirit that's in you. So they really hate the Father. So give me Matthew chapter 12, verse 9. Read that out.
And when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue.
Uh-huh.
And behold, there was a man which had his hand withered. And they asked him, saying, Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days? That they might accuse him.
Go ahead.
And he said unto them, What man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep, and if it fall into a pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold on it and lift it out?
Go ahead.
How much then is a man better than a sheep?
Go ahead.
Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath day.
So yeah, that's common sense. If a brother stranded out somewhere and you don't got enough gas to go pick up that brother, you're not going to say, oh, it's the Sabbath, brother, I can't help you. No, you're going to go help the brother. You're going to go help the sister. Go ahead.
Then he saith to the man, Stretch forth thine hand. And he stretched it forth, and it was restored whole, like as the other.
So he healed that man on the Sabbath day. But check this out. Let's see what the Pharisees did.
Then the Pharisees went out and held a council against him.
So they came together, having a council, right? Go ahead.
How they might destroy him.
They was plotting, thinking of wicked things, how they going to kill him. That's the Most High hates that. So give me Ephesians chapter 4. Ephesians chapter 4. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 20 through 24.
But ye have not so learned Christ. If so be that ye have heard him, and have been taught by him, as the truth is Yahushua, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man.
Go ahead.
Which is corrupt, according to the deceitful lusts.
Go ahead.
And be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness.
So you put on the new man, and you renew the way you used to think. You don't think the same way you used to think. Those wicked imaginations, you don't do that no more. You renew that thinking. You change your thought process. Okay, I used to think like this. Lord, help me with this. I'm struggling with it. Start keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and focus on that. Don't focus on plotting and doing wicked things to brothers or sisters, or just doing wicked things in general. Like some brothers, they're thinking wicked things like, I just can't wait in the kingdom. We're gonna be raping people and this and that. That's simple. You can't wait to get in the kingdom just for you to try to rape somebody. What kind of kingdom you think you're gonna be in?
Right.
What kind of king you think the father's gonna be there? He's just gonna be just raping and doing all this type of stuff? You gotta be out your mind. That's thinking wicked. First of all, you should say, I can't wait to get it out. I can't wait till the kingdom come, Yahweh willing, I'll be in there to be able to enjoy and live in a world that's peaceful and good food and just righteous. But if you thinking, if the first thing pop in your mind is, I can't wait to be in the kingdom so I can be raping all these women, or I can't wait to I be in the kingdom to get 1,000 women. That's your mind. Your way of thinking is off. If that's the first thing that pop in your mind, and you hear all the time, I can't wait till I be in the kingdom. I'm gonna have all these women. You should be like, I can't wait to be in the kingdom so I can meet my father. I can meet my big brothers. I can chill with the angels. I can, these are the different things. I can deal with unity. It can be brotherhood and sisterhood. That's what you should be thinking about. So give me so that's the end of that. So go back to Proverbs chapter 6. It says a heart that devises wicked imagination, a feet that be swift to running to mischief. So give me Romans chapter 3. So people that's quick to doing evil, they don't even think about it, they just do it. They so quick to do wickedness, to do mischief. So give me Romans chapter 3. Verse 14 through 18.
whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Destruction and misery are in their ways.
So they so quick to do. That's how wicked of our people. Read that one more time. Verse 14.
Whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Destruction and misery are in their ways. And the way of peace have they not known.
So they all quick to curse people. I wish you died. Go ahead.
Therefore is no fear of God before their eyes.
So they are so quick to be cursing and being bitter, and they're so quick to shed blood. They so quick to do it. They so quick to be swift to do evil. And the Lord is against that. Give me Proverbs chapter 1. The Lord is against a person that's so quick to do evil. Just because a brother did something to you, you're so quick to pay him in return. You still having the mindset of the Old Testament, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, and not having the spirit of Christ, which be forgiving brothers and sisters. So give me Proverbs chapter 1, verse 15 and 16.
My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path.
Go ahead.
For their feet run to evil.
For their feet run to evil. They so quick to run to evil. The Lord said, don't be caught up in that. Go ahead.
And make haste to shed blood.
And they so quick to shed blood, man. So that's going hand in with shedding innocent blood as well. And thinking of wicked imagination. All this ties in with them all. Pride, lying tongue, innocent blood, wicked imagination. All that same spirit is close with each other. It ties in with each other. So give me Proverbs chapter 4, verse 14. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 14 through 16. This is what wicked people do. And we must not be so quick to do evil to a brother or sister just because they do something. If they do evil to you, continue to do good. Have that spirit of Christ upon you. So Proverbs 4 and 14.
Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men.
Go ahead.
Avoid it. Pass not by it. Turn from it and pass away.
That's what you're supposed to do. Go ahead.
For they sleep not, except they have done mischief.
So wicked people, they don't want to sleep. Wicked people don't want to sleep unless they did wickedness. Go ahead.
And their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall.
They just want somebody to fall. That's what wicked people mindset. That's the mindset our people are in. They so quick to do mischief. They so quick to do evil. They wouldn't want to sleep. They lose sleep because they want to do evil. They don't want to sleep. I can't sleep. I want to do some. I gotta do some more. They're not happy with it. You might have one brother. They might go rob a brother, and get thousands and thousands of dollars. Get all type of drugs from him, rob him from everything, right? And the next minute, hey, we gotta rob somebody else. You're like, man, you just had to come up,
right.
Supposedly. So why you want to rob somebody else?
Right.
Rob another brother. They so quick. Oh, I just killed one brother. Hey, they're not happy with just killing one person. They so quick to kill somebody else. Hey, now I'm feeling good. You see that aim is getting better, yo. You see, I shot a couple of times and killed them. Let's go find somebody else. They so quick to do evil. So quick to talk bad about a brother until they build that brother up. So give me Amos chapter 5, verse 14.
And Salakia, that's heavy in rap music,
God.
heavy in hip hop. And our people listen to that and man, perpetuated so bad.
God. That's why I can't even listen to that music, man. I can't even do it. I can't do it. People be talking about, you know about this rapper, I'd be confused. Like I'm in a different world. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Right.
So give me Amos 5, 14 through 15.
Amos 5, verse 14.
Go ahead.
Seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so Yahweh, the God of hosts, shall be with you as he hath spoken.
Go ahead. So you shouldn't be so quick to run to evil, to mischief. You should be quick to run to good, to keep the law, statutes, commandments. Go ahead.
Hate the evil and love the good.
So that's what we must do. We must hate that evil. We must hate having the mindset to run to mischief, run to evil. Go ahead.
Hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be that Yahweh God of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph.
So give me Proverbs 24:16. So we must hate to be having that mindset to run to do evil, but deal with patience and love, gentleness. You know what I mean? Being forgiving to brothers and sisters. So Proverbs chapter 24 verse 16.
For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again.
So yes, a righteous man will fall 7 times, but he will still get up, right? Go ahead.
But the wicked shall fall into mischief.
But the wicked shall fall into evil. He's going to continue to run to mischief, a wicked person. But a righteous man, he will fall, but he'll get back up and repent. So give me the next one is swift that runneth into mischief. Verse 19, Proverbs chapter 6, verse 19. A false witness that speaketh lies. So give me Deuteronomy chapter 19. Give me the law on that. Deuteronomy chapter 19. So the Lord hates a false witness. A person that's bearing false witness, that's lying, saying that you saw something which you really didn't. So give me Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 16 through 21.
If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the man between whom the controversy is shall stand before Yahweh.
Go ahead.
Before the priests and the judges, which shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and have testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you.
Go ahead.
And those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you. And thine eye shall not pity, but life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot.
So we were supposed to bear false witness, and that's what was going on. And like I said, it all ties in. People bearing false witness, causing innocent people to be put to death. You see what I'm saying? Give me Proverbs chapter 14, verse 5. So that's what our rulers was doing. They was allowing the righteous to be put to death and allowing the wicked to go free. You see what happened with Christ. That's a prime example. They let the Barnabas go and put Christ to death. That's wickedness of our people. So Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15. Verse 5. Slakia.
A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies.
You see that? That's a wicked spirit. The Most High hates that. Give me let's see what time it is. Susanna in the Apocrypha. Just read it. This is a perfect story with Susanna, a righteous, beautiful sister, being 2 elders bearing false witness. We just gonna read part of it. Read verse 5. Start verse 5. So y'all can read the whole story on your own time. The story of Susanna. So read verse 5.
The same year were appointed 2 of the ancients of the people to be judges, such as Yahweh spake of, that wickedness came from Babylon from ancient judges, who seemed to govern the people. These kept much of Joachim's house, and all that had any suits in law came unto them. Now when the people departed away at noon, Susanna went into her husband's garden to walk.
So this woman is married. Go ahead.
And the 2 elders saw her going in every day.
So 2 elders. Was these brothers righteous or wicked? Let's see. Go ahead.
And walking so that their lust was inflamed toward her.
So they lusted. They already committed adultery in their heart. According to Matthew, go ahead. Tell you what Christ said. Go ahead.
And they perverted their own minds.
So they had a wicked imagination. You see how all this ties in. Having a wicked imagination, a lying tongue, trying to say innocent blood, being prideful, bearing false witness. Go ahead.
And turned away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven, nor remember just judgments.
So those brothers didn't want to care about the law, statute, commandments. They was want to think wicked imaginations. Go ahead.
And albeit they both were wounded with their love, yet durst not one show another his grief. For they were ashamed to declare their lust,
Go ahead.
that they desired to have to do with her. Yet they watched diligently from day to day to see her. And the one said to the other, let us now go home, for it is dinner time.
So jump to verse 27. So pretty much, for you to get a understanding, these two brothers was plotting, and they was plotting to the point where they was trying to sleep with this girl. They was pretty much saying, if you don't lay down with me, I'm gonna tell the people, since I'm an elder, since I'm real respected in Israel, I'm gonna tell the people that you're a whore, that you commit adultery, and that goes on amongst Israel today. You got sisters or sisters around Israel that brothers is lying, elders and stuff is lying on sisters, saying, oh, that person adultery, they committed adultery, they did this, they did that. That person gonna be put to death for speaking those lies, for bearing false witness. Go ahead, verse 20 or 27.
But when the elders had declared their matter, their servants were greatly ashamed, for there was never such a report made of Susanna.
So this was a righteous woman. Nobody spoke evil of this woman. Go ahead.
And it came to pass the next day, when the people were assembled to her husband Joachim, the two elders came also full of mischievous imagination.
Did you see that? They had that wicked imagination. That's what the Most High hates. Go ahead.
Against Susanna to put her to death.
So they wanted to put her to death. Now jump to 60 or 59. We ain't gonna read all of it. So they wanted to put her to death. They think of wicked things. Go ahead.
Then said Daniel unto him, well, thou hast also lied against thine own head. For the angel of God waited with the sword to cut thee in two, that he may destroy you.
Go ahead.
With that all the assembly cried out with a loud voice and praised God, who saveth them that trust in him. And they arose against the two elders, for Daniel had convicted them of false witness by their own mouth.
So they was being a false witness. So they eventually got put to death for bearing false witness on this righteous sister, because they just wanted to lay with her. So you see how people lying tongue is trying to set innocent blood, thinking wicked imagination, so quick to think of evil and bearing false witness. They all tie in. So go back to. So give me Acts chapter 23. So the last one is, and him that showeth discord among the brethren. People that's so caught up in division and not coming together, not unity. Like I said, the true doctrine is law, statute, commandments. So get Acts 23 and 1. Read that.
Acts 23 and 1.
Go ahead.
And Paul, earnestly beholding the council, said, men and brethren, I have lived in all good conscience before God unto this day. And the high priest Ananias commanded them that stood by him to smite him on the mouth.
So jump to 6.
But when Paul perceived that the one part were Sadducees and the other Pharisees, he cried out in the council, men and brethren, I am a Pharisee, the son of a Pharisee. Of the hope and resurrection of the dead I am called in question.
Go ahead.
And when he had so said, there arose a dissension between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and the multitude was divided. For the Sadducees say that there is no resurrection, neither angel nor spirit, but the Pharisees confess both.
So give me Romans chapter 16. So the point I'm trying to make is, you had a division back then. The Lord hates people that sow discourse among the brethren. So they had a division back then. We have a division